Hi friends, what the heck is up? How are you? Today I figured we'd get cozy and have a little bookish chat. Kind of like Q&A style, except nobody asked me questions and I'm just gonna yap. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab a blanket, and get cozy with me and let's chat about books and things. First and foremost, I'm using my Dote mug. This is the House of Jupiter and bookmarked mug and I'm obsessed with it. It's the perfect mug shape. It's giving like old diner and I love it. Anyway, one of the big reasons why I wanted to make this video today is also because I'm low-key in a reading slump? Question mark. I don't want to label it. I don't want to say that it's a slump and then get in my head and be like, oh, I'm in a slump. However, I do think I am in a bit of a slump. But here's why. There have been way too many highly anticipated new releases this year, and I think that that is what's putting me into a reading slump because I did finish reading Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage, but I still haven't read Emily Henry's new release. I still haven't read Abby Jimenez's new release. I'm currently reading The Rose Bargain, which is a new release. I am loving it. I did read Our Infinite Fates, which was a new release. I haven't read First Time Caller by B.K. Borson yet. What's that one? Silver Elite I have and haven't read yet. And I know there's also new releases coming out this month that I obviously haven't read yet. And I don't know, I feel like I'm just feeling overwhelmed by all of the new releases and feeling overwhelmed with having to try to like keep up with it and trying to avoid spoilers on Book Talk and I think mainly Book Talk. That's where I'm getting, actually booktube. I've been watching a lot of people reading, like reading vlogs where they're reading these books and I keep just fast forwarding because I don't want their opinions of the books to influence how I feel about the books. So I'm trying to avoid that. I don't know, I just feel this pressure to read these books before getting spoiled and it's making me not want to read. So that's my hypothesis on what is going on with this potential slump that I'm in. However, like I said, I am currently reading The Rose Bargain. Willow sat down and is pushing the tripod. Anyway, I have started reading The Rose Bargain. I am almost like halfway through. I'm reading it pretty slowly. I don't know why I felt like I needed to say that, but I am reading it slowly. This is a YA fantasy. It's about a fake queen that basically like becomes queen of the human world and she starts to offer like bargains. They call them the rose bargains, but they bargains to anyone who comes of age. I think basically like any kid that comes of age in her kingdom, she offers them a bargain. So they'll ask for something and she'll take something in return. So for example, one of the girls asked for a prettier face and in return, she gave the queen her ability to turn left. And so now she can never turn left. And some of these like bargains are so silly and that I think is just really fun. But yeah, some of them the queen would be like, oh, I will fix your memory, but I'm taking your pinky finger. But it's not like violent or gory at all. Like this book is pretty chill. But basically our female main character, her sister made a bargain. I think it was like a year, 2 years prior to when this book takes place. Stuff went down, her sister went missing. They found her sister and now she's like kind of in psychosis. Question mark? I don't actually know what psychosis is, but like that feels like it fits. Basically, she has turned into like a shut-in and she is acting like she doesn't remember anything. She doesn't know what happened. She doesn't remember what she asked the queen for. And yeah. So our female main character comes of age. She goes to ask for a bargain and when she goes with all of everyone else who was also asking for a bargain and the queen came out and said, hey, actually I'm hosting a competition to find my son, the prince, a wife. So everyone can still ask for a bargain, but they then decide if they want to join the competition, and the price for joining the competition is that anybody who joins can never marry. Obviously, only one of them can end up being the prince's wife. So obviously, whoever wins gets to be the wife. But whoever doesn't win, whoever loses, can never get married. But it's giving Bridgerton vibes. I don't know, it's really fun. I've been enjoying YA fantasies a lot lately, and normally I am an adult fantasy girly, so I don't know, I'm having fun with it. I'm trying to like lean into whatever books I'm enjoying reading them, because again, feeling a little slumpy. The next thing I want to talk about is my Kindle setup. Kind of. I got something for my birthday and I'm obsessed with it. Before I get into that, I do currently have 2 Kindles. One of them, my like original Kindle, is my Kindle Oasis. If you don't know, they stopped producing the Kindle Oasis. It's the one that has like the extra kind of like black bar on the side, and it has buttons to turn pages, and so it's a very comfortable read. I don't know, I'm obsessed with the Kindle Oasis. However, it is like 5 years old at this point, so it is really glitchy and really slow, and it's just, it feels like it's on its last leg a little bit, but I don't want to get a Paperwhite because I just love the feel of the Oasis. My husband, though, did get a Kindle Scribe, which I have here. He got that for a birthday or Christmas or something a couple years ago. And, and he's not the biggest reader, so he doesn't use it very often. He thought he would use it more than he does. So anyway, I've kind of commandeered it. Obviously, it's free to use it whenever he wants, and I read a lot of physical books anyway. But this is my Kindle setup, and I'm obsessed with it. I wasn't obsessed with the Scribe when I first started using it because it wasn't very comfortable to hold. It felt like I was reading on an iPad, so at that point I was like, why not just use my iPad? But no, this is truly so much better. And I got this case just from Amazon, and what I really love is that it has like the bendy top stuff. So obviously this type of case is not something new, but like you can fold it and like set it up like that or however. And that has been so nice and just makes it so much more comfortable to hold and read the Kindle. And then I also went on Amazon and got this like strap. I am not a pop socket girly. That is just like not a comfortable thing for me. So I got this strap instead, which has also been really nice. And it just is making reading on the Kindle so much more comfortable. And then the cherry on top, which has truly changed the game, is I got the little like Bluetooth page turner. I've seen so many people talking about these literally everywhere all the time, and I kind of doubted that they would be that good. But no, I'm telling you, it's that good. If you have a Kindle, you need this. I don't have a Kindle stand, which I think if you have a Paperwhite, you probably would, like, this is kind of useless without a Kindle stand. But because I have the Scribe and I have the case that I have, I can just set it up anywhere. So if I'm in bed, I can just set it up and then just like be cozy and keep my hands under the blankets and like push the little page turner. So it works out really well for me. I do highly, highly recommend, and I know everyone talks about them, but like for good reason. I promise. It took me way longer than it should have to go ahead and like pull the trigger and buy those. So if you're waiting, just do it. Do you organize your TBR or just vibe it? I absolutely just vibe it. I have been doing my TBR jar videos lately, and those are a lot of fun, but I think the more I pressure myself that I have to stick to them, the harder or more likely it is that I get into a reading slump. So if you're the same, just like, I don't know, like have fun with it, and I am just trying to have fun with it, but I'm not putting a ton of pressure on it. The last book that made you feel something deeply, I definitely think that was Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. I loved this book so much. It broke my heart, and it really didn't hurt my feelings all that much, but like some of the scenes, because it goes back in time quite a bit, it's like that book has a lot of like reincarnation in it, where these two souls are constantly like being reincarnated, and then they fall in love, and then they die, and they are reincarnated again, find each other again, fall in love again. Anyway, that book, a lot of the like past scenes where it would talk about different years, different lives, those were sad and hard. It made me feel a lot of feelings. Also, I rated that book 5 stars, so highly recommend. If you could unread one book just to experience it again, absolutely, hands down, without a doubt, Kingdom of Ash. I wish I could read that for the first time again. That book, best book I've ever read in my life. Do you read one book at a time or juggle multiple? Okay, typically I read one book at a time. However, I do like having an audiobook going, usually on Spotify, and having a physical book going, but absolutely no more than 2. But I like having both going on at one time, so that way I feel like I can still make progress to reading no matter like what I'm doing. So if I'm doing a lot of driving or doing a lot of cooking, cleaning, whatever, I can still listen to my audiobook and feel like I'm making progress towards like those reading goals, but still do things. And then I will also obviously still have whatever book I'm reading physically, whether that be on my Kindle or a physical copy. So that's what I do. I don't have like having a lot going on at once or having a lot of stories going on in my head at once. So that is why I am the way that I am. It may not seem like any time has passed for you, but I just had to hop into a meeting quick and now I'm back. Topics, things to discuss. Oh, this is not on here, but I really want to talk about an arc that I'm reading. So technically I was a beta reader for this book before. I'm now reading the arc of it. It is so good. It's so good. Hold on. Let me pull it up. So it's called Reign of Glittering Flames by Elizabeth Starling. Okay, it comes out. When does it come out? I'm so excited. August 5th, 2025. Wait, that's so soon. It's so good. I highly recommend. So I read it last year and I wasn't allowed to talk about it at all. I was a beta reader, which was so fun and cool and exciting. So it's a romantasy and it's giving Dungeons and Dragons vibe of magic. So not, if you've never played Dungeons and Dragons and like that is intimidating, like don't let that intimidate you because it's not. It's not. But it is. So if you have played, you'll be like, oh, that reminds me of this. But if you haven't played, like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Also, if you've read Carrie Maniscalco, specifically I don't know what the series is called, but the first book is Throne of the Fallen. If you've read that book and you enjoyed that, I promise you will eat this book up. It's so good. The plot twist in this book, I never could have guessed it, but it made so much sense. It was like Kingdom of Ash level of intertwining everything and then it coming together at the end and you're like, oh, if I paid attention, I could have like gotten it, but I still don't even think you could have. It just makes everything make so much sense at the end. I don't know. The end of it is so good. And it was really cool. It has been really cool to be a part of like the whole process. So I read it as a beta reader last year. I couldn't talk about it at all. Yeah, like I was providing her feedback, which was really cool. I don't know, the whole process, the whole behind the scenes, because obviously I've never written a book and I don't know a ton about trying to like publish a book. And it's really cool to watch this author that like I know her. And she's made this really cool, awesome book. I am going to be one of the most annoying people when this book comes out and I have like a physical copy in my hand, prepared to be sick of me. Obviously a romantasy, and it follows our main girl who is basically the female main character. Her mom made a deal with the devil, and what ended up happening is when the female main character was born, she has like devil characteristics. So basically she goes on a search to find her father, like her like devil father, I guess. And she ends up feeling like this tug in her chest and she doesn't know where it is or who it is or like what's going on. She just feels this like tug. And so when she walks closer to wherever the tug in her heart is taking her, like she feels better, so she wants to go that way. And if you go the opposite way, whatever. Anyway, so she's following this like tug in her heart and she just is like discovering things. And also her grandfather is not a good person, and so she's trying to like, you know, like manage that situation and also trying to find her dad and also just like figure out who she is and more about herself. And it is such a fun, wild ride. And of course there's an enemies to lovers that you will eat up. I promise you, you'll be obsessed with the male main character in this book. Guaranteed. So I will definitely link her Instagram, the author's Instagram and TikTok down below, so you can go follow her for updates. Her book is also on Goodreads, so I'll put that link down below too, and you can go ahead and add it to your shelves. Guys, I promise. I think she still has like e-arc sign up if you wanted to get an arc. So check that out. But I'm so excited. Prepare to be sick of me when this book comes out. Anyway, I need to let the dogs inside. Book formats, physical, ebook, audiobook, what is your go-to? I am such a mood reader, not just with the books that I read, but how I read books. I love my Kindle, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I just want to read a physical book. And then sometimes I just want to do other things and not, like, I want to be productive and still listen to a book. So that's when I'll go and I'll use an audiobook. But if I absolutely had to pick one, I think I would pick my Kindle, because I could still own physical copies of books and then only read them on my Kindle. There's just something about being able to lay in bed in darkness and read and not have to use like a reading light or your lamp or whatever. I just love that. My toxic book trait. I know my toxic book trait. Mine is starting book series and never finishing them. If you've seen my video of all the series I'm in the middle of, you know, but check it out if you haven't. And here is why I do that, I think, is because when someone is like hyping up or talking about a book a lot or a series, I want to know what is going on. Like, I want to know why people are so excited about it. And like, I'm just so curious about what the story is about that I'll read the first book and then I'll feel like satiated. I'll be like, oh yeah, like I know, I read Caraval. I know the basics of, you know, the series. So it's like it satisfies my need to want to know what's going on. And then I don't have a need to know how it ends. It's like I'm not dying to know how it ends. I'm dying to know what's going on to begin with. I don't know if that makes sense, and I don't know if I'm the only one, but those are my thoughts. Next, are you a mood reader or a planner? Again, we've talked about this, or I've said this already. I'm definitely a mood reader, and if I'm forcing myself to read a book, then it'll probably put me in a reading slump, which is why all of the new releases I feel like are putting me in a reading slump. Next is annotating. Do you love it or do you hate it? I really enjoy it, but I think that there, again, is like a time and a place. So I really enjoy it for certain books. But for example, like I finished reading Wild and Rankled. I had no need to annotate that book. However, like I read Beartown and I needed to annotate that book. Like it had to happen. I didn't used to be an annotator, but I've just been watching like a lot of videos of people talking about annotating or people that are annotating, especially Cups and Thoughts. If you haven't seen Cups and Thoughts, she is really big on Bookstagram, but she obviously has a YouTube too, and I love her content. Check it out if you're interested, but it's just so like calming and cozy and satisfying. She does a lot of annotating and she just writes out any thought that she has while reading. And I think that's such a fun way to annotate. I do like annotating, but there's a time and a place. Next is, what book made you realize that you were a reader? So for all the people, all the girlies that are new here, the one book that got me into reading was The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, I think. Previous to this, I read books, but just like not consistently, and I always had to force myself to read, if that makes sense. It was never something that like I was like, ooh, today I want to sit down and read. No, like previously it was like, oh, okay, let me sit down, I'll read for an hour and then whatever. When I read The Silent Patient, I read that book in less than 24 hours, and that's the first time I've ever done that. I didn't understand how people did that. My mom and my Nana growing up, like they always do that. So I was like, how are you guys doing that? I don't understand. But then I read The Silent Patient in 24 hours and I understood. I got it. That book was so good. It kept me on the edge of my seat. I did not know. The plot twist was so good. Also, I read that book in like 2019 when it first came out, like before it was popular. So like, I'm not saying that I discovered The Silent Patient, but like I read it before it was cool. But it is a really good book, so if you haven't read it, I highly recommend. I am interested to know though, what book got you into reading? Let me know in the comments. Next one is a book world you'd move into, but maybe you shouldn't do that. If I could live in Terrason, if someone walked up to me and was like, hey, post-war, come live with Aelin, I don't even need to live in the castle. Just like, let me live there in the kingdom. Give me some magic. Should I? No, I absolutely would not survive. I would not survive. If anything negative, if there was any sort of war or fighting at all going on, I'm first to die. But if I can, I'm gonna go live with Aelin. Absolutely. This one is a book couple you'll defend with your life. I think any of the couples in any of the Emily Henry books, I think that like the way that they're written, I would support them with my life. Actually, that's not true. With my life? I don't think I would put my life on the line for any book couple. Would you? I mean, I'd like defend them in a conversation. This one says, romantasy is taking over. Are you into it? Yes. Next question. Do aesthetics like sprayed edges or naked hardcovers affect your reading? So I don't know if like the aesthetics affect my reading, but I don't love reading a hardcover. I would prefer not to have hardcovers. Well, okay, I don't know though, because I love the way a hardcover looks on my bookshelf. I just really hate how it feels to read out of a hardcover. So if I could read the book on my Kindle and own the hardcover, what I really wish would be incredible is if you bought a hardcover of a book, you could scan the barcode and automatically get the ebook of it. Like, I already bought the book. I really have to buy it again if I want to read it on my Kindle. That's so frustrating to me. So I wish we could just be like, oh, you bought the book, now you get it on Kindle. That would be dreams come true. I don't love reading a hardback. I don't think the aesthetics of a book, I mean, the aesthetics will get me to buy the book, but it won't make me enjoy the book more or less. My favorite bookish content creators lately. I love that question. Okay, let me go to YouTube and see. Okay, so immediately I have Katie Witruk pulled up right now, and she does like a lot of vlog style videos, a lot of like reading vlogs and TBR jar and that kind of stuff. I absolutely love her content. She just seems so down to earth and cozy and just like realistic. So if you're looking for someone that like posts more vlog style content and is just super down to earth, I would highly recommend. And then next right here, I have Rachel Catherine. So the three of them, I mean, I think Rachel is definitely a book creator, but her two other like besties that have their book club, Georgia and Sophie, they aren't necessarily like bookish creators, but I do love reading or watching their content. So the three of them. But yeah, Rachel Catherine does a lot of like reading vlogs, but also vloggy vlogs, and she does fun like TBR picking videos. And also a lot of journal content. So if you want to have a reading journal, I would highly recommend watching her content. That's where I got a lot of my inspiration from. More book creators. So I already mentioned Cups and Thoughts. I love her content so much. It's so cozy. It is incredible. I actually started watching her because I would watch her content like as I go to bed, because it just is very like, it's just calming, peaceful, and kind of like puts me to sleep. But then I started watching her content so much that it would keep me awake because I wanted to see what was going on. So I can no longer watch it before bed because it'll keep me awake. But I don't know, I just really love all of her content and everything she puts out. She's just so crafty and creative, and like everything she's doing is like aesthetically pleasing, and she reads so fast. It's crazy to watch how fast she reads a book. And then obviously she has her book Instagram that I mentioned, and all of her content is just like so aesthetically pleasing. Like, it's incredible. Who else? Heather McLarry. Love her content so much. She is just so real. She is so real. So real. Started off, I followed her on Book Talk, or on TikTok, so definitely recommend following her there. That's like where I mainly found her, and now she's been posting a lot of videos lately, and they're just so good. They're just so good. Who else? Ooh, Alexa Raye. Okay, I really enjoy her content. She's just like so cutesy I feel like is the best way to describe it. She's just really cutesy. Her videos are like really fun and cute, and she just moved, so like moving content is always so fun. She also came out with a collab with Ana Luisa for this necklace. I don't know if you can see it very well, but my husband got it for me for my birthday and I'm obsessed with it. It has a little book charm on it. It has a little pearl, and then it has a little heart that has like a red like gemstone. I think it's like, I don't know. And I'm obsessed with this necklace and I really like her content as well. So highly recommend checking her out. Yeah, Ellen Reads. I'm pretty sure she lives in the UK somewhere, and it's just really fun to watch her content as well. It's just so different. I love watching content from other like creators who live in different countries. It's just so interesting to see what she's up to, where she goes, what she's doing. And then Emmy Rosam as well. She lives, I think, in the UK. And her content is also like, she's very real. She's like down to earth, very real, and just like fun to be around. I've never been around her. Katieisreading is another creator that I watch her content as well. She does a lot of like book reading weeks, what I read in a week videos, vlog style. So those are a lot of fun. Cozy K. Oh, I love Cozy K. She's not really a book creator, but she just is like cozy content in general, and I want to be her when I grow up. Obviously, Sarah and Destiny, kind of similar to Cups and Thoughts. I have two other accounts or channels that I love watching their content too, and it's like I said, a similar vibe. But first is Oat Milk Diaries. If you haven't seen her content, I highly recommend. She does a lot of journaling and reading and annotating and all of that fun stuff. So the other account that again is very similar to Cups and Thoughts is Macaronn. Her content has just been like so fun lately. She's been doing more like vlog style videos. She did a lot more Cups and Thoughts style, and now it's like a lot more vlog. And I don't know, I think that she is just so cute and fun, and like the content she makes is just so cute and fun. It's very cozy and whimsical, and I really enjoy that content. But okay, I've been yapping for so long at this point. I need to go and chug some orange juice because my throat hurts. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you made it to the end and you're still not subscribed, then what the heck are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe. But yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!